Okay, I'm here with Avi Davis, and Avi, you've got a conference coming up this weekend, so what is it?
It's the How Fraser University Conference. It's our annual summer conference. The American Freedom Alliance's annual summer conference, and it's going to take place at the University of Southern California on the 15th and 16th of June.
And where can people go to find out more information about it?
They can go to our website, www.americanfreedomalliance.org, and they'll click on How Fraser University, and they'll go to a mini website which will have all the details of the conference. The conference is going to feature a number of very important figures in academia, commentators, government officials, and others, including Victor Davis Hanson, Dennis Prager, Hugh Hewitt, Stephen Emerson, Daniel Pipes, David Horowitz, and Neil, and many, many others.
So why did you choose this topic?
Well, academic freedom is a very serious issue in the United States and all over the world. Many university campuses are in fact suffering from an absence of academic freedom, and that has serious consequences for the future of our democracy. We have to understand that the idea, the philosophy that one can pursue or ascertain the truth in any way he or she feels capable or able is really the bedrock, a bedrock philosophy of democratic society. And what we see on campuses today is that idea is being closed down by politically correct thinking, by administrations who are enforcing speech codes without really willing to listen to a variety of views and a variety of attitudes.
Have you had any first-hand experience with this?
Well, yes, I was at Harvard University about 4 years ago, and although my classes generally in the Kennedy School of Government were, I'd say, fairly balanced, I did meet many students and many professors who told me that they had experienced basically coercion and oppression for their views. They'd been shunned and alienated. One particular professor told me that she had basically had nobody to talk to because she was a conservative. At the conference, we'll be screening a copy of Indoctrinate You, which we're actually holding the Los Angeles premiere of the movie. And this is a documentary which details how rampant the problem really is. Political correctness has become almost a form of mind control. Students feel intimidated by professors into conforming to their particular political biases and following their particular political biases. Many graduate students feel that indoctrination is a very serious problem. And of course we'll be having the people who've written the books about this. Indoctrination You by David Horowitz, who will be one of the speakers, and he also wrote a book called The Professors, outlining how there are certain professors that are radical, who have radical positions and favour radical causes, who will be who are here spotlighted as causing these problems.
What is the American Freedom Alliance?
The American Freedom Alliance is an organisation which finds ways to promote freedom around the world, identifies challenges to freedom, and develops methodologies to combat those challenges and those threats. So we've identified 5 areas where we feel freedom is actually under threat. And each summer we hold a summer conference that deals with it. In the first year we held a conference on the Islamization of Europe, which led to another conference in Europe in March called Identity Crisis: Can European Civilization Survive? This year, of course, we're doing academic freedom and the challenges we face on our university campuses. Next year we'll be addressing the media, the year after that the diplomatic corps, and in the 5th year the judiciary. So each year a different conference which will give birth to a campaign, a permanent campaign, which will address these issues and hopefully develop methodologies to confront them.
What difference can a conference have? Like, what was your conference last year?
The conference was the Islamization of Europe, the collapse of Europe. It featured many European and American scholars and commentators and academics on that issue. The conference itself gave birth, as I said, to a permanent campaign to address this. I mean, the ultimate goal of our activities is to raise awareness, to build alliances, and then to spur activism. And by activism, we hope to have some kind of influence on the political process and decision making in this country and around the world. It's a long road, but from the last year, we already ran a conference in Europe. Our original conference was held at Pepperdine University. There was such a demand to address the issue that we shifted the second conference to Europe. And now we have an operation in Europe called the European Freedom Alliance, which is running activities very much like we do here in the United States to address the problems of freedom.
When I call your phone number, the first answer is in English, and then the second answer is in French. What's up with that?
Well, that's because many of our calls come from Europe. And so we've already become an international organization. We have an international home in Switzerland, in Lausanne, Switzerland. And many of the calls, when our office in Europe isn't operating, many of the calls are routed to the United States. And that's why there's a French operator answering the phone.
What were some of the highlights of this conference you did at Pepperdine, I believe, on the Islamization of Europe?
Well, we had two exceptional speakers there who rarely give the kinds of addresses they give anyway, and that was Mark Stein, who gave a rousing observation about multiculturalism and how multiculturalism is, in fact, undermining our society. And then there was Ayaan Hirsi Ali, the former Dutch parliamentarian, who was just in sparkling form and delivered a wonderful address about the problems she'd encountered and the problems Europe faces from multiculturalism, from moral and cultural relativism, and from the lack of awareness in the political elite how serious these problems are.